He is going to be on the main card, taking on Derek Anderson. He is a man of many talents. Not least of them is entertaining crowds. Haven't seen him in a while, at least personally anyway. It's Michael Venom Page. Sir, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good, thank you. How's you guys doing?
We're good.
We're
How has the pandemic been for MVP? About the same for everybody?
Yeah, no, it's definitely the same for I've been blessed in the sense that my gym's been allowed to continue because we're classed as an elitist gym. So that's been my saving grace. That's been my mental free space.
So it was close to the public.
It's close to the public.
But elite fighters
all the
train.
fighters were still able to train.
Oh, that is lucky.
So yeah, that's definitely lucky. I definitely feel I'm blessed with that one.
So you're a video game come to life, and that's why we love you. But, you know, you've had, I don't want to say some ups and downs. You've had one loss. So it hasn't been a lot of ups and downs. But, you know, you're also 34, and this is a big fight on Friday that probably puts you on the verge of another title shot. Can you be the video game fighter the rest of the way, or do you have to be the, let me tone it down and really focus to try to get the absolute best out of me?
Nah, you know what? It's just part of my personality. It's something that I just cannot switch off. Once I start walking down that ramp, I'm MVP, and that he has no age.
As a fellow artist and entertainer, I know that feeling.
You're as much an artist as you are a woman. I mean, you know, in no way, shape, or form.
Talking about my shelving in here? Come on, I'm working on it, all right? Anyway, so MVP, this fight, Derek Anderson, who's on fire. Like, they're almost starting to want to fit him for a future title opportunity. What's this fight going to look like? Because this matters in the division.
No, definitely. As you say, he's been doing really well so far, and I'm excited to actually, you know, share the cage with him. But I'm a different beast. He hasn't faced anything like me, similar to most of my opponents. There's no training partner he can call in that's going to simulate what I do. So his first experience of MVP is going to be when he's standing across the cage from me, and it's a very difficult puzzle to figure out.
Doug Lima, I'm going to interrupt you to say this. Doug Lima, the champion, who's going to be Yaroslav Amosov. Amosov. He's Yaroslav Amosov. He says every time your name gets brought up, MVP, stop talking and fight somebody. Is Derek Anderson enough of a somebody, you think, to get Doug Lima off your back?
Everybody has you know, that initial opinion at first. You know, oh yeah, this is going to be the guy that's going to challenge MVP. Because of my fighting style, because of the way I fight, because of how simple I make it look, by the end of the fight, that person turns into a can, literally there and then. So everyone has the same opinion after the fight, so maybe not. But I don't care for his opinion. I just want to share the cage with him again. He could, instead of complaining about it, he can shut me up again.
Oh, hey.
You've heard the criticisms that certainly no one could deny the talent or the amazing highlight reel knockouts or rolling the Pokeball or all the other what was the glove?
The gauntlet.
The gauntlet, the Infinity Gauntlet. But what do you make about the criticism of the resume? You're 18-1. It's a nice resume, but are there enough major talents on there?
Yeah, it's they're very talented fighters, and I can only fight who I've been given. And every person that comes in front of me, I just do what I do. Regardless of what people are saying, I get to enjoy my life. You know, I'm genuinely having fun doing what I enjoy. I get to make make a living out of, you know, what I do best and put on a show. So I feel like people can just enjoy.
How much thought goes into those Pokeballs, the Infinity Gauntlets, that kind of thing?
Again, it's part of my personality. Thought goes into it. Yeah.
You couldn't, in other words, like you couldn't do a fight without thinking about those things.
No, it's just normal. As soon as I get my opponent, I think of something comes up, or me and my family are very bad for this. We're all jokers. We all sit down and be like, oh, you know, we could do this next and we're just firing ideas across. And
oh wow,
that's just kind of.
Wait, so your mom's in on the bit?
Everybody's in on it.
Wow, that's amazing. I didn't realize that. That's funny. So whose idea was the Infinity Gauntlet?
The Infinity Gauntlet, actually, that one was mine.
Okay.
That one was mine. It was a mixture. We were talking about the Fortnite was quite big at the time. It just came out. The Infinity Gauntlet came first, so I had to order the glove in and so on and so forth. That was my idea. But then I think it was a couple of months after the movie had dropped. So I kind of was like, yeah, it might be a bit too old now. You know, things change so quickly and things are, you know, always viral, new things that are viral. But just before the fight, they had put it in the Infinity Gauntlet in the Fortnite game. Oh. So it made it relevant again.
Right.
So I was like, perfect. I've got the glove anyway. So let me keep that going.
I love it. You know, I don't know if anyone's ready to forgive the Paul Daly fight. It didn't move us. We're not moved by it, but that's just our take. You're the man in there dodging those Semtex bombs. In hindsight, do you regret any of how that fight played out?
No, 100%. But there was a couple of things at play there. Me personally, I wasn't mentally ready, and I don't think I should have even gone into the cage at that point.
Really?
Yeah, definitely not.
Have you gone public with that before? Were you?
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think I've, as you throw shit behind us, I don't think I've heard that before.
Yeah, probably I think a month and a bit before my father had passed away, and it still hadn't. Yeah, when I went in there, I literally just went blank, and I've never been like that before ever. So it definitely wasn't. Like I said, mentally wasn't ready to be in there. Physically, I was doing literally. My coach, he said, "I'm finding any reason to pull you out," and he couldn't because I was just that was my home, my hub. While I was kind of
autopilot. It sounds like
yeah,
too.
it was autopilot. I was kind of just going through it, but that was my body was just taking me out of my mental, if you know what I mean. But then he also changed game plan, and he tried to be sneaky and sneak a win. He's an amazing KO artist, and decided to turn into a wrestler. So
well, he played himself, right?
Exactly,
he didn't get
exactly,
the win,
exactly. So
we played ourselves watching it.
Yeah. So it's more a case of I think he tried to go for a sneaky tactic instead of putting his best foot forward. We could have had a great stand-up fight. He decided to go the ratty way, the little cockroach way. So he lost it.
I see there's still not the most friendly relationship between you two.
Nah, not at all. Nothing's done there. But at the same time, I'm switched off. I don't care for him anymore. He decided to put play that hand. It didn't work. So live with that for the rest of your life.
There was talk when that fight happened, and I believe it happened in this building, was part of the welterweight World Grand Prix. Some fans are saying, hey, that fight maybe should have been in Great Britain with the adoring fans in the backgrounds of the two of you. Are you still itching to get a fight on that level, biggest fight of your career in the UK? I mean, is there a way if you could get to Lima for a rematch for the damn title, could they put that in Wembley Stadium or something? I mean, what speak it.
You know what? It's he's the champ. He's the champ. It's down to him. It's I feel like he deserves to make that decision. But I would love for that to be in the UK. And if he's happy to be in front of my fans when they're screaming, then
they go crazy.
Yeah, they do
for all sports, but combat sports in general.
Definitely.
I got to tell you, Great Britain right now has got to be the home of boxing. I mean, it's just so much. All right, so let's hear it. Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, who wins and why?
I want Anthony Joshua to win, but I feel Tyson Fury's the better boxer. All round. So I genuinely feel like he will win that fight. But like I say, Anthony Joshua's grown and then kind of taken a step back and then slowly grown again. I'm hoping he can pull something out of the bag. But like I said, if I'm looking at skill for skill, I feel Tyson Fury's
I get the feeling watching Fury, he knows he can win.
Yeah, you can see
you
how
know what I
confident
mean?
he is.
He's just dying to get a fight with the guy. Not that I don't think Anthony Joshua can win or can't win. Excuse me. I think he can.
Yeah,
he's probably got the bigger power of the two. I think he's a better athlete probably. But Fury is a skilled dude, man.
And he's a bit of a zombie. He just, after that shot from Wilder, he came back from the dead in that. And so he's going to have to hit him very hard a few times.
Right.
And that's going to be the issue.
Also, does Wilder beat either of those two, you think?
Again,
Wilder's not as good as either of them.
No,
but that power is different.
And that's the dangerous thing. He has that off button. He has that snooze snooze button that would just put you out. So that's in most of his fights, he tends to be losing them until that happens.
Right.
So, of course, with a punch like that, he can beat anybody, 100%.
Well, who's the hardest puncher you ever trained with? Seriously, hardest striker. Like somebody who's just like, God damn, everything hurts. I know you don't get hit a lot, so that's a little hard for you to say, but still.
Yeah, there's been a few. It's a good question.
Somebody who you're like, whoo, got to be careful with this one,
No, there's a lot of guys that are dangerous. I've again, because of the boxing, of me being in the boxing, there's a lot of guys that when I cross over into the boxing, I'm like, these guys throw heat, man. Like, it is just different because they focus all their energy on just their hands. When they put even a jab, I'm like, I don't even want to get hit with a jab. With other people, it's like, I'm okay getting hit a little bit. But there's so many people, man. It's hard to kind of pick out one.
Is that why you think, and I talk about this because you have made the transition from MMA to pro boxing in the past, and I thought maybe you were going to stay in that lane. When Conor McGregor finally did get in the ring with Floyd Mayweather after all this talk, he was a better, let's say, technical boxer than we thought, but it didn't look like he had much power on it. Do you think it's that transition from MMA to boxing? And
Yeah,
in terms of the stance and the commitment to each shot and all that?
Yeah, again, like I said, these guys, we spend a lot of time working on our whole body. I think it's definitely going to be more difficult for a boxer to get into MMA than the other way around. But as you say, the endurance in our arms, we have to train for quite a long time to get our endurance up for those 12-round fights, 10-round, 12-round fights. For me, if 4 to 6 rounds, I'm good. I feel comfortable. It's when he goes into the later rounds is where I have to have doctored my training completely. So my arms are there still later on in those fights.
What do you make of Canelo taking on one of your countrymen, Billy Joe Saunders?
Yeah.
That's an interesting fight.
I don't think so.
You think Billy Joe takes it or Canelo?
No way. Canelo all day.
He's amazing, right?
He's something special. In all honesty, that loss they had against Mayweather just changed him.
Yeah.
He's a completely different beast now.
He had a bad game plan, and he stuck to it.
I think he went in there a bit too early.
And the weight was not right.
Yeah, everything. Nothing. You know what? And again, Floyd's quite smart with when he picks people and so on and so forth. But yeah, it did change him for the better, and he is just complete boxer.
When he was punching the arms of Callum Smith as a direct strategy to fuck him up, I was like, I don't see that a lot in boxing, right?
That hurt me watching.
Yeah. Were you expecting a little bit more out of Callum Smith from that one?
No, I think he done what he,
what you can do,
Yeah, you did the best that you can do at the time. Again, you always have your game plan, but when someone starts tagging you and it becomes real in that moment, your game plan can get chucked out the window and you're just surviving.
You make highlight reel moments. That's what you do. It's your calling card. I mean, the Rickles fight, it looked like Anderson Silva against Forrest Griffin. You kind of just made him give up. But the nastiness of the Cyborg Santos knockout in the knee to the head, is that the one that you think will be tied to your name forever above all the rest?
100%. Obviously, there was multiple moving parts with that one. It was the injury, it was the timing of the knee, and it was the celebration, obviously, as well. And it was just perfectly timed in terms of the celebration. The Pokemon had just dropped, Pokemon Go had just dropped, and that was a big thing anyway. Literally, probably about 4 days before the fight. So that celebration was, again, planned and timed very perfectly, and that just went super, super duper viral. So yeah, there was a lot of things that. So I know people that's called me the Pokemon man. They're like, oh, you're the Pokemon guy. Yeah. So it's definitely going to be something that's associated with me for a long time.
Were you ever worried about his injury? I made a point, like, after you hit him with that, I was like, the good news about the injury is that A, he'll be okay, it appears, and B, I've never seen anything like it, so it's insanely uncommon. But that was the kind of injury, like, if that was a common injury, you couldn't have MMA.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be socially allowed.
Yeah.
It'd be too dangerous.
100%.
Was there a point where you were like, Jesus, I didn't even know I could do something like that?
Yeah, no, I did not know about the injury until the next day. And it was my sister that sent me a picture. And I thought, again, a family full of jokers, like all of us. So I thought she doctored the picture, and she's like, look what you done. So I was kind of like laughing. She's like, no, seriously, go online and check. You did this. And it's at that moment that, we kind of reached down, we're trying to figure out what's going on. I have to say, that guy's a tough man, extremely tough man. He walked out of the cage himself, didn't want to get checked. Wow. He checked himself out of hospital, decided to go home anyway, against the doctor's orders, and then he sorted himself out when he got home. That guy is a tough man.
That's great.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's tough or just, I don't know. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's insane. You going to say something?
No, I was just reveling in that. I mean, does he DM you? Is there a text chain? Have you ever talked to him again?
No, yeah.
We actually, awkward.
It was very awkward. I obviously tried to reach out, and I could feel from that side, he kind of didn't want that to happen, which is fine. He kind of stepped off. We bumped into each other probably about 2 years later. One of his students was fighting one of my teammates. And we went, my coach said, do you want to go see him afterwards? And again, it was very awkward because my teammate had popped his student's knee and won that fight. So again, it's kind of walking in like, hey. Like it was the whole thing was bad.
Remember me?
Yeah.
You tried.
But I tried.
What can you do? I mean, all right, so what's the plan I would ask you guys this, what's the plan for 2021? COVID is not over, but it does appear manageable.
Yep.
So that's not going to slow things down. So if we're talking a year from now, what has happened in the intervening time?
Yeah, I'm just going to be putting more highlights up and getting Lima back. That's it. And then you'll see the gold strap around my waist. As simple as that.
But getting Lima back for one. Like so he's supposed to fight Amasov. Now you got me. But Amasov, I got to tell you, I don't know if you watched his fights.
Oh, of course, yeah.
He's good.
Oh, he's amazing.
There's a real chance he could beat him. You would rather Lima win and then you get the opportunity against Lima rather than just fighting Lima at some other date?
Yes, it's two birds with one stone. Obviously, you know, I get to get a title and I get that redemption fight at the same time. So yeah, 100%. I prefer it that way around. But at the same time, I couldn't care less. The goal is to be at the top. And when you're at the top of the hill, everyone has to walk up towards you. So we will eventually meet.
Also, the 175. What happened there? Why not 170?
Oh, I just can't be bothered to cut weight.
You know what?
It's difficult times right now.
Smart guy.
There's so many like
I've stopped cutting.
yeah.
Paul, you know Paul Daly just did this too, right?
No, but he does it because he struggles to cut weight. He eats too many burgers, so
Great.
that's different. That's
Michael
different.
Page. MVP, it's always a pleasure to talk
Thank
to you,
you,
sir.
thank you.
Can't
Looking forward
wait
to
for
see what
your
happens.
fight on Friday
Definitely.
night.
Appreciate
you
your
guys
time,
having
and welcome back to Los Estados Unidos.
Excellent.
All right, there he is. MVP, everyone.